Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zeni Budiarti with MPM 2241163 from Management Class 22B. Individual Diversity in Organization. Individual behavior in organization behavior is a very interesting thing to study, both individual behavior and group behavior. Studying behavior itself might sound strange, but it's very important because by knowing the meaning of behavior, we can know the individual one this aim to that what we expect and can be achieved through the comparative and of each individual with their different behavior. It edits behavior in an organizational greatly affect the running of the organization. Individual behavior in an organization is a form of interaction between individual characteristic and organizational characteristic. Each individual in an organization will behave differently from each other. Can their behavior is determined by their respective environment, which are indeed different. Individuals bring to in the organizational structure their ability, personal belief, expectation, need, and past experience. The characteristic faced by this individual will be brought when entering a new environment, namely an organizational or other. An organizational is also an environment that has character such as order, which is manifest in a hierarchical structure, work, task, authority, responsibility, payroll system, control system, and so on. Individual behavior is a direction that an individual has to everything that I seen, feel, and understood to the be formed into action and attitude. In the context behavior science is employments that each person has different view is assessing and understanding the situation explicitly. It if is far into the background that has been live the application in its research. The older a personnel is, the lower their work performance will be due the natural biological factor. Second, three is the reality that our working will age. In the United States, the sector is work age, and ours turn out to grow much faster than had the generation. There's the existence of regulation provision in the United States for retirement which are mandatory is again the law because the retirement limit is to age. But when the person concerned states the are the no longer and to work, if implement like this, the many work age will not retire. In addition, the result of the study how the and the abs of elderly employer was actually better because the problem faced by the elderly the cause absentence were relatively far than those of young people. However, for health research, the elderly ended being the absent for the advanced age. Research have that in fact the performance of men and women in holding work is relevant the same. Both are almost the same consistency in solving problem, analysis skill, competitive drive, motivation, sociability, and learning ability. The psychological approach states the women are more oblivious to rules and authority. While men are most aggressive, too, they are more likely to achieve success even though this difference is proven to be very small, so in fact it's giving. Job opportunity need to be different because there is not enough evidence to differentiate men and women in the term of job satisfaction. By nature, God created difference between men and women in the term of physical capacity, roles, tasks, and responsibility in the family environment. Women are more often absent for work because they bear the burden of the household, for example, looking after children who are sick, pregnant, giving birth, so they have to be absent. Material status. Research hopes then can people who are married are relative better than single people in the term is abstain living to change job and job satisfaction. This is because people who are married have a sense of responsibility and make work more stable, more orderly and consider work more value and more important. Research so far has not researched people who are different with and people who live together. Number of amount of defense. Many studies have then degrade the number of defense in a family with great impact on employee work productivity, work time. The relevance of tenure in diversity relate to seniority in work. This means that it is not relevant to compare men, women, old, young, and so on because research have then is not generally the case. The those who have been working longer have higher productivity. This is because it could be that the person who has just started working has better experience from their past job. Thus, it can be included that past experience is determined of person's future in work. Most studies show have that there is a positive relationship between lack of service and job satisfaction, meaning the longer an employer work, the lower the employer desire to leave the job. Personality as the organization of physical system, which is an individual, then be determines his adjustment to chief environment. Robin defines personality as a way of how a person reads and interact with others. Popular personality characteristics include aggressive, shy, submissive, lazy, ambitious, loyal, honest. The more consistent these characters are, the responding to the environment. In show hereditary factor of traits, which are important factors in the formation of a personal personality. There are a number of personality attributes that need to be considered, including a control area, locus of control. There are two areas of personality control, namely external and internal. In internally controlling personality in a personality which a person believes that he is the one who control what happened to him, while the externality control personality trait in a person belief that harm happened to him is determined by environment outside himself, such of fate and luck. Be authoritative understanding. This school of truth believe that there are differences in status and belief among people in organization. High authoritative personality trait have ready intellectual differences people of position in the organization, exploit people who have lower status, are suppression and reject change. Thank you.